little dimmer, little candle. Join me in hell. I am here to bring Ragnarok. Death can bring life, turning light to blight. Nurtured by darkness.
What's up? This is going to be a classic hero analysis on Hela, the Asgardian goddess of death. Hela was one of the earliest heroes, released on 11 December 2021, 2 months after the game started. She is a Shadow Arc support healer who caters more to offensive teams compared to other healers. Let's start the analysis. Starting with her skills. Her ultimate skill, Dark Synergy, summons an untouchable totem for 8 seconds. During that time, 2 events happen. All allies have their current HP percent set to the team average and recover 3.5% max HP every 2 seconds. To visually explain the first part, imagine 3 heroes are at 50% current HP while one is at 25% and one is at 75%. Totaling all 5 current HP percent equals 250%, which averages to 50% for each ally. This is good for the ally with 25% by redistributing the percent from the 75% ally. Hela's auto attack restores 70 attack energy. Hela has 1 passive and 2 active skills. Her first active skill, Dark Cure, is her main source of damage and healing. It targets the enemy with the lowest defense and deals 130% attack every second for 3 seconds, while also healing 2 allies with the lowest HPs for 50%, or 65% attack of that amount. Dark Cure restores 150 attack energy. Her second active skill, Foul Essence, is her main survival tool. She creates a circular aura around her for 20 seconds that reduces attack speed by 35% for enemies in the aura and also reduces damage taken by 35% for allies in it. Foul Essence restores 200 attack energy. Her passive skill, Bloodstained, supplements her team support. It increases the team's lifesteal by 20% and HP recovery effects by 18%. As of this video, there are 8 heroes who have lifesteal bonuses from their Chimera attribute: Thor, Apollo, Susanoo, Freyja, Tamemo no Mae, Lucifer, Oda Nobunaga, and the Boggs. Because of the second effect, Hela is best paired with another healer since her Dark Cure is usually insufficient to sustain her team in times of heavy damage. Next is her equipment. The best equipment for Hela is Yasakani Magatama with air runes or water runes, both of which increase her healing ability. I prefer air runes over water, and I will explain later. Next is her IW and IW skills. Her IW has higher distribution to Bahu attack and Chimera critical damage. For a support healer, having critical damage as a specialty attribute isn't ideal, so I recommend using her IW2 nodes to compensate by obtaining high rating defensive attributes. For a balanced defense, I rolled for 4 green and 4 yellow nodes, with emphasis on HP percentage and physical magical resistance. If you prefer to increase Hela's resistance against one of the 2 resistances, there's nothing wrong with going 8 green or yellow. Her IW skills first improve Dark Cure, then Foul Essence. IW 100 adds a 3-second silence to Dark Cure's enemy target. This is the first reason why I prefer air runes over water. If Hela is casting Dark Cure more often, she can sustain the silence on the enemy target with less gaps between silence durations. IW 200-400 increases Dark Cure's damage by 15%, then 30%. IW 300 increases Dark Cure's healing targets from 2 to 3 after it is used 3 times. This is the second reason why I prefer air runes. If Hela can cast Dark Cure quicker, she can start healing one more hero quicker into the battle. IW 500 increases Hela's dodge by 30% during the 20 seconds of Foul Essence. Hela naturally has around 40% dodge, which is higher than the average heroes. This 30% bonus really helps her survival against most heroes, but not against Spotlight heroes or Susanoo, who has attacks that can't be dodged. IW 600 triggers Foul Essence again 30 seconds into the battle. This leaves a 10-second gap without it between the 20-second and 30-second marks. This is useful if Hela is in a longer battle, but it doesn't impact PvP, where battles are usually done within 30 seconds. Next is her Divinity skill set. Hela's Divinity skills are good, but they lack focus on her survival. Again, I recommend you use her IW2 nodes to compensate for this. For 2 nodes, pick Torment and Embroilment. For 3 nodes, keep those 2 and add Vexation. For 4 nodes, replace Vexation with Engulf. For 5 nodes, replace Torment with Prevail. For 6 nodes, replace Engulf with Excitement. For 7 nodes, replace Prevail with Collective Fervor. Next is her PvE and boss performance. Hela performs fine in both situations, but nothing about her skill set is exceptional for these. A common use of Hela includes her in the Apollo Odin team. Here, Bloodstained increases Apollo's natural lifesteal to help him survive at the start, and improves Western Queen's Spring Peach healing. Like other support healers, Hela's boss performance is not as good as other heroes. The only exception I can think of is using her with Nephthys to heal the team in Shadow Arc War Dragon battles if Nephthys isn't developed enough. Next is her Crusade Evetta performance. Hela is not ideal for the event. Her main divinity tree is devoid, which is not an immediate priority, and dedicated healers often fall to the wayside in favor of heroes who have healing built into their skill sets, but have other skills to help the team's damage, such as Nephthys, Western Queen, and Dangun. Next is her PvP performance. Hela is currently not part of the PvP meta, but she can take a position as the healer in a filler CA team. I don't use Hela anymore, but a common hero to pair with Hela is Oda. Oda is one of the heroes with Chimera lifesteal, and Hela's skill set caters to Oda's survival until he gets Demon Lord running. Here is a good PvP team that I have used a few times in the past. Oda is the main damage dealer in this team. Leonidas provides CC, protection for Freyja and Hela, and additional healing with Hela. Susanoo is there to do 2 things: be a sub DPS and provide cover for Oda by stunning the backline hero across from Oda. Nowadays, the worst backline enemy for any frontline hero to face is Artemis for obvious reasons. Susanoo can mitigate the threat if she happens to be there. Freyja provides the much needed battle rune attack speed increase for everyone except Hela. Hela's Bloodstained skill improves the natural lifesteal of Oda, Susanoo, and Freyja. Additionally, her Foul Essence adds a layer of protection for any enemies that get close to her or Freyja. Another Hela team in the past that I often saw but never used was this one. It uses faction bonus advantage and gives Oda free attacks to restore attack energy via Faust's Sins Befell. Yi Sun Shin provides protection for Lilith and Oda. Faust and Lilith have synergy in that if Faust dies after using his Sins Befell swap, Lilith's IW 300-500 applies a terrorize effect for 6 or 9 seconds where enemies can't use their ultimate skills. The team overall is a Shadow Arc majority, which is the better mask for Lilith since she receives the lifesteal and attack speed increases, with Hela's Bloodstained skill improving the former. Next is Hela's tier list ratings. While reviewing her again, I realized I had some outdated ratings on her, so these are my revised ones. She gets a 1 out of 5 in IW 600. Activating Foul Essence for a second time at 30 seconds isn't that useful. I would like if her IW 600 was similar to her fellow healers Lao Shen, Nagakanya, and Adun, increasing the number of enemy targets for Dark Cure from 1 to 2. Silencing 2 enemies instead of 1 while dealing more damage for a greater heal seems more worthy of an IW 600 skill. Moving on, she gets a 2.51 in power from Dark Cure, Tier 1 Divinity skill Embroilment, 150 Bahu attack, 138 Chimera critical damage, IW 200, 400, and a reduction from 78 Anka. She gets a 7 in support from her 4 skills, Tier 3 Divinity skills Excitement and Collective Fervor, and IW 100 and 300. She gets a 3.17 in Survival from Dark Synergy, Foul Essence, Tier 1 Divinity skill Embroilment, and IW 500. She gets a total of 1 in Versatility for CA. Her revised total is 14.68. She remains in B+ tier, but at a higher placement. Let's summarize Hela. She is an SSR Shadow Arc support healer that thrives in more offensive teams. Her strengths are buffing the team's healing and lifesteal, and having a good selection of divinity skills to choose from. Her weaknesses are her lower healing compared to other healers, and her unsuitability for bosses and crusade meta. This concludes Hela's analysis. Thanks for listening.